So yesterday, or 2 days ago from when this was uploaded, was my birthday. I turned 19. So I just finished the 19th year of my life. And so this video is going to be a little different. I'm going to talk a bit about that year rather than another vlog from yesterday. And so we're going to start back with last October. So last October, I was at the University of Tennessee. We were starting to vault there. And just finished my birthday, of course, and I started to realize it wasn't exactly the school I wanted to be at. I started to realize that college is such a big part of your life, and if it's 4 years that it's not exactly what you want it to be, might as well make a change. And so around in the beginning of October, I got my release letters from Tennessee and decided to transfer. And so pretty much the months of October and November were both finishing classes at Tennessee, but then also deciding where I was going to go. And so I got released to Oklahoma and Kansas State, and then my parents convinced me to get released to Akron as well, just as another option. And so through all of that, I was really interested in Oklahoma and Kansas State, and I really wanted to go to one of those two schools, but since I was only a first semester freshman, I didn't have 24 credits to transfer, and that's what a lot of colleges require in order to get transfer scholarship. And so I was about to take a visit to Oklahoma, and I really wanted to go there, but then the admissions office told me that I couldn't get the transfer scholarships, and so Oklahoma was ruled out because of money. Kansas State and then Akron, it came down to those two. And so ultimately I ended up picking Akron just because it was like a fifth of the price that it was going to cost me than going to Kansas State. And so I made that decision about late November. And then so in December this past year, winter break, Christmas, there was a lot of winter break, and Christmas was preparing to change schools. I got to come home as soon as I finished finals, and I was glad I got to come home earlier, because once I decided to transfer to Tennessee, it was I was really I was just there to finish taking my classes and then leave, so I didn't do a whole lot in the past time I was there. Watched a lot of movies and just worked out a lot to try to stay in shape as I transferred to Akron. So once I got home, I pretty much just continued trying to work out and stay in shape for when I got to Akron. And then I got to Akron in the beginning of January. I got to Akron, I think the January 6th, and then January 6th around there was the Akron Pole Vault Convention, and so that was super cool to come to Akron and have my first event be that big pole vault event. And so I got to meet Demi Payne and a few other professional vaulters. Had to film a bit there, and then beginning of January we got our track gear. And so in January was a lot of adjusting to this new school, and it was something that I was super glad I made the decision to transfer ultimately. So at this time I transferred as a supply chain major, I think, or maybe just as finance. But ultimately January, February, I finalized it as finance, and I got really into finance then. But in February I was in a couple of classes like business calc, English 2, and just some basic core classes to get out of the way, along with doing track. And so that was really my life at that point. And so February, when I started to vault here, things were going well with vaulting. I had to switch from UCS to Alces poles, which is just different brands. They bend a little differently. But then kind of the end of February and beginning of March, I started to realize that I did not think that the track program at Akron was what I wanted it to be in order to keep doing it for 4 hours of my day every day. It felt like I could have used my time a lot better towards my future. And so ultimately I decided to stop doing track for Akron and focus on getting my degree. And so now I'm on track to get my degree in hopefully 3 years, if not 3.5, rather than doing 4 years. And so that gives me an extra semester or whole year to go into the career field. And so then February we did a bunch of vaulting, and so I have a video here. So this video is me on a 15-195, or I can't remember what the flex was, maybe it was a mid 13, I think. Going over, I think it was a 17-foot bungee. And then this is my room when I first got here, moved into the cross house. So this picture here is me taking off at about 12:09, which was really big for me, and I was having fun, but eventually just realized that I wasn't going to get to the level in this program that I wanted to be in order to keep doing it. And so I just decided to use my time other ways, and so that was the end of March where that decision was made. And so shortly after that, I went home a bit for spring break, and me and the mom went to New York City. So I have a few pictures of that. Here's us at the 9/11 Memorial, Stock Exchange, and I also got to meet one of the most influential people in my life, which is this picture of me and Casey Neistat, who ultimately got me into YouTube, got me into vlogging. And so then I got back to Akron and decided that I wanted to do more with making videos. And so I made a couple of videos of just around Akron. And then April and May, I was like, all right, I want to get a tattoo. So I always wanted a tattoo. And so the tattoo I ended up getting, here's a picture of it. It's kind of hard to tell what it is because this is a picture that was like right after I got it. And so my skin was still really irritated. It says free time is the enemy of progress. And so this is a quote from Casey Neistat, and so ultimately I got it to always remind me of, no matter where I get in life and down the road, wherever I'm at, I can look back and I know that this quote is something that got me to where I am. And so I got it as a permanent reminder of the motto to keep throughout my life, throughout the months of April and May. There was a lot of finishing up classes, going through exams, and at the end of April, I got hired at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I worked there. So in May, did the exams, did pretty well. I think I got like a 3.8, and then really got into, so once I was done track, I got into running and biking more, and so I started to go on kind of long distance runs. I think the longest one I actually ended up doing was 10 miles. And then I would bike a lot. One day I biked like 50 miles at our rec center just on a stationary bike, watching like Tour de France videos or YouTube videos, because I realized I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and I was at the rec a lot. And so I figured if I could combine those and I use my time a lot more efficiently, so I just watched YouTube videos at the rec center while I was biking. And so that's how I ended up biking for a really long time. And then in May I also went to New York City with Evan. And so that's where a lot of this film is from. And then I went to, this was either May or June, when I went to this marina vault and actually ended up winning after not vaulting for about 3 months and not really doing a 7-step for I think even a little longer than that. I jumped 15.6 and had a good look at 16.1. And so that was May and June. And then in July, I got a lot more into photography once I got my camera, and you'll notice the videos of Marina Vault were used with the GoPro, but I started to get a lot of trouble with the GoPro that I had, and so I decided to switch it out for this Canon G7X Mark II, And so when I got home, me and Evan went out and did a lot of photography. So here's some of the pictures that we did. And so me and Evan kept talking, and we always talked about business ideas, and that's where humans came from. And so me and Evan also went to DC, where the swimming at the Capitol building video came in at. And I was a lot of taking classes. I took 13 credits over the summer. So I was in 4 5-week classes, and I was in 3 5-week classes at once. And then I took like human bio, accounting 1, spreadsheet, and ethics. And then, so they all ended middle of July, started in the beginning of June. And then, so in July, I pretty much, once I got home from college, I was like, I want to start vlogging. And so that's when I made the decision to be a YouTuber. So I published that video, so that will be up here or here. And then in July, started talking to a girl I met at school, went home for pole vault camps, and then kept talking to this girl I met at school. And then so eventually, so we hung out a few times at school, kind of were friends, had a lot of mutual friends. And so we were like, all right, we were gonna go to New York City. And so in the beginning of August, me and Brittany, current girlfriend, we went to New York City together. And so I made a video of our whole day there, so that'll be here or here. So I think it'll be here, of our trip there. Had the last pole vault camp, made a video of that too. So a lot of the suggested videos are gonna pop up in the corners of stuff that I did, and there'll be some clips of stuff in here as well. And then the middle-ish of August, came back to school, and so now I'm in accounting 2, finance, marketing, a lot of these core business classes. Just got my first accounting exam back. And I got a B, so for the amount of frustration I've said I'm having, happy I got a B. And now I'm kind of at the point where a lot of the business stuff has calmed down, and it's easier to just pay attention. And so then this past month came September, started Ultimate Frisbee. We had a first tournament, won the first tournament. I changed my major to marketing. It's something that I'm a lot more passionate about and find it a lot more interesting, especially consumer behavior and kind of like the psychology and sociology that goes along with marketing I really like. And the big thing that happened in September is, of course, I started a business, which you can find out about here. And this is our company logo that we created here, Humans. And we have our first design of t-shirts, Travel for a Difference. So in the first month that I got here, so this is my room here, and then we also went to a Trump rally. And the first week when we didn't have classes, me and Brittany kind of explored a lot. We went to Cedar Point for a bit, we went to Columbus, went to an Indians game, Cleveland, and then about 4 weeks after I got to Akron, me and Brittany came home to Maryland, so she met the whole fam. We went to Baltimore, and so it was really fun. So that's pretty much been what I've done the past year. So the past year of my life has been filled with a lot of change and adventure, and so the time of transferring was really stressful and something that I'm glad I did in the end. And now I'm at Akron, and I'm really glad I'm at Akron now. it was definitely the right switch to make. So that was pretty much my freshman year of college. And so now I'm in the 20th year of my life, and for this next year I would really love humans to keep growing, and me and Evan are working really hard on that with our Indiegogo campaign coming out soon as we work with our distributors about how that's going to work. And so the goal is just keep doing all the classes that I have. I'm going to stick with marketing, like for sure, pretty much, through getting my degree. So that'll be the final major I end up getting. So that'll be 2 years. And then the goal is I really want to get a drone for the travel that me and Evan do. And so next summer is we really want to raise the money to go do these conservation and community volunteer trips, and that's what a big part of this business is about. And so yeah, so a little bit of a different video. Go check out the vlog I just released. Live happy.